Welcome back to Ozarks Fox AM. Kaylee is continuing our Downtown History series, and today she's live downtown to tell us all about the Ozarks Jubilee. Kaylee?
That's right. This is the fourth installment. Good morning, Jeremy. Good morning, Lyra. There's no longer a building, but the memories live on. The Ozark Jubilee was a variety show / singing show that ran for 6 seasons in the 1950s, and it ultimately helped Springfield shape what we know of classic country music.
Really helped put Springfield on the map and was something that folks look forward to every week.
Again, friends, we send you a big Saturday night hello from the crossroads of country music, the Jewel Theater in Springfield, Missouri, because it's time for the Ozark Jubilee.
The Jewel Theater, named after Harry Jewell, opened in 1911.
It was an interesting old theater. It was on Jefferson Street, across the street from the Colonial Hotel.
And though it seemed to be plagued from the start,
it was owned by the Fox Theater chain, but they didn't keep it open over a dispute with the projectionist union. And so it sat empty and was just used a few times as a rental space and not showing movies.
It eventually turned into a first rendering of the Grand Ole Opry.
The Ozark Jubilee reopened it as their home in 1956.
And showcased the best country and western music from across the country.
Hey, good looking, what you got cooking?
Maybe not with the country artists we see today, but the 1950s had their own talent.
I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you.
It was really a precursor to what Nashville would become, but it was broadcast right here in Springfield.
The #1 hotspot.
It was the central location of Springfield that set the Ozark Jubilee apart.
It was the only nationally televised country music show, and it was the only show televised that wasn't produced on either the East Coast or the West.
Making a good run for about 5 years, the Jewel Theater slowly crumbled, and so did the show. The Ozark Jubilee eventually dissolved, but not before leaving a lasting legacy on Springfield and country music.
It was really remarkable to have all those up-and-coming country music artists finding their way to Springfield and being highlighted right here.
Now, it is green space, the green space you see behind me, used for the Discovery Center and the Sky 11 apartments, which in the Jubilee days was the Woodruff building. Since the Jewel Theater was in such disrepair the last year, they moved to the Landers Theater. So that's some history, some more history for you. And if you'd like more history, the Springfield's History Museum on the Square is hosting walking tours on Fridays and Saturdays. For more information on that, you can visit the History Museum on the Square. Guys?
Kaylee, quick question. You said after about 5 years it started going to disarray. Did John Sellers give you any indication of why the decline? What happened? Was it popularity of the show? Was it getting people in? Why did it decline?
Yeah, he didn't necessarily talk about that, but I am assuming that it was because the building was literally crumbling.
Oh, so it's actually the facility,
wow.
Maybe not the popularity of the show, but the facility itself.
Man.
Wow. What's interesting, too, Kaylee, is, Branson is so close, and we identify Branson with the country music and starting the live shows, but this was actually a televised show.
Right, and like you just saw, there were featured the likes of Patsy Cline, Hank Williams, June Carter. So lots of big names not only got their start here, maybe, but definitely rose to fame.
Right. It's so fascinating, isn't it, Lyra?
Yes. How do we not know about this? I've never heard of that.
And you've lived here your whole life?
Yes, and I've lived here my whole life, and that's such an interesting tidbit.
Do they feature this, Kaylee, during the tour at the History Museum?
I assume so. I haven't done any of the walking tours, but there is a lot of history covered within that hour / 1 mile walk through the downtown strip, so you'll have to find out.
I know. I'm going to have to do that because we both didn't know about that, Kaylee. I love your history series. I'm learning so much. Thank you so much, Kaylee. We appreciate you. That's fascinating.
That was. I love those video clips.
I would like to watch that, just tons of that footage.
Yes.
Because you and I have both worked in Branson.
Right.
And how do we not know about that?
I know.
That was featured here on national television.
All of those big names right through here. That's so cool.
I think if I would have been alive at that time, That's something I would have wanted to go to, like watch a recording of them doing that show.
Me too. That would have been so fun.
Do you, I grew up in Texas, and there's a lot of country music fans in Texas. You growing up here, did you listen to country music growing up? And if so, did you have any favorite country artists?
I did not grow up. My parents didn't listen to country.
Oh, okay.
They listened to more, like 60s type music. But when I moved to Texas, in college, I performed in a show in Texas for 3 summers, and that's when I got introduced to country music, and I was hooked ever since.
So who did you like? Who did you listen to then?
Well, okay, whenever I was first introduced, I think it was the very first time I heard the Dixie Chicks. Remember when they were really big?
Uh-huh.
And I know that's not classic country by any means.
No.
But it was, the first thing I was introduced to.
I remember watching, now this is going to date me, I remember watching Garth Brooks' very first performance on like the Country Music Awards or the Emmy or the Grammys or something, and he sang Friends in Low Places, and me and my brothers were just hooked on Garth Brooks, and we loved Garth, and we loved Reba.
Yes.
Who else did we listen to? We just loved some of those. My dad always liked Randy Travis.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, in Texas, you're kind of around that. And I did like the Shania Twains and the more contemporary.
Now, what about Brad Paisley? Do you like
Not
him?
into him, no.
After I saw him live, I love him now.
All right, don't go anywhere. So much more fun coming up on Ozarks Fox AM. I think they all sound alike. Like Brad Paisley and Luke something.
But I like his sense of humor.
Okay.